The Kazakh lands shall from an autonomous unit within a democratic federal republic.
If we write it like this, we speak the language of the state, not just Aul. Without this, no one in Petrograd will even listen to us.
And what about the language of the people? They barely read. They don't say Federal Republic. They say, will we still have our land? Will our children study? Then, who is the program really for? For them or for us?
For now, it has to be for us, so that one day it can work for them.
In the early 20th century, Kazakh society faced a profound moment of political and cultural transformation. It is in this context that Alash movement emerged, proposing for the first time a comprehensive project of state modernization, from parliament and courts to education and local governance. But a key historical question remains: was the Alash movement designed as a modernization project for the broader population, or it was a primary initiative led by a small circle of Western educated intellectuals? This debate continues in contemporary historiography, which makes the topic especially relevant. To answer this question, we conducted a museum-based investigation centered on the most important primary document of the movement, the 1970 draft program of the Alash Party.
The purpose of our study is to determine whether the 1970 Alash program and its related artifacts reflect a broad national modernization effort, or whether they indicate an elite-driven political initiative. Our methodology relied on museum research techniques, observation of the physical context of the exhibition, artifacts analysis as mute evidence, thematic coding, and cross-comparison of written, visual, and material sources. From this, we formulated 3 research questions. How does the Alash Party program reflect political and social modernization? What do the material and visual artifacts reveal about the social composition and elite identity of the movement? How do the form, language, and accessibility of Alash documents indicate who the modernization project was intended for?
Халықаралық петициясынан басталды деп айтады. 10-20 ғасыр басында, себебі сол кезде қазақ халқының азаттыққа деген күресі, қозғалысы басқа формаға ауысты. Бұрынғыдай көтеріліс формасында емес, енді зиялы форматта, жаңағы қағаз форматында, сол патшаның Ресейдің заңына сүйеніп, осындай қалай айтсам, қағаз түрінде жаңа хат жазу арқылы қарсылық көрсетуден бастады. Онда мысалы қазақ зиялылары, қазақ халқының өкілдері өзінің құқықтарын талап етті, жаңағы патшалық үкімет тарапынан.
Draft program is displayed at the very center of the museum exhibit, illuminated with direct light and surrounded by explanatory text about the Kazakh newspaper. This clearly marks it as a central political document of the movement. The structure is formal and juridically precise, divided into chapters. The canon includes a republican form of government, a people-elected parliament, independent courts, universal free secular education, local self-governments, tax and land reforms. The document clearly states, the state shall be governed through parliament elected by the people, and education must be universal and free for all. These excerpts demonstrate the profoundly modern and progressive political thinking of the authors. However, the complexity of the legal language and the document's structure makes it clear that it was accessible only to an educated minority.
The Alash program is one of the most advanced political documents of its time in Central Asia. It outlines a vision of a modern state built on democratic principles, civil rights, legal equality, secular education, and accountability of the government to the people. The typewriter displayed next to it illustrates the technological tools behind this modernization. It was used to produce materials for the Kazakh newspaper, the main medium through which Alash ideas spread across the steppe. The resolutions of the 1970s All Kazakh Congress show how these ideas were brought into real political debate, including discussions on autonomy, regional administration, and institutional reform. Together, these sources provide strong evidence that Alash actively pursued the modernization of Kazakh society.
However, the artifacts reveal another dimension of the movement. The legal complexity of the program indicated that it was not accessible to the majority of the Kazakh population, which at the time had low literacy levels and lived largely in nomadic condition. The text clearly tends to an educated audience familiar with European political concepts. The personal belongings of Ahmed Baytarsunlu, his leather portfolio, porcelain milk jug, highlights the material culture of the urban intelligentsia, further emphasizing the distance between Alash leaders and ordinary people. The 1980 group of photographers of alleged intelligentsia reinforces this point. Only men, only urban, only educated, all belongs narrow to social stratum. Thus the movement had an elite social base shaped by access to educated administrative skills and cultural capital.
By comparing the central document with supporting artifacts, we arrive at a balanced conclusion. Alaj movement was a deeply modernizing project aimed at transforming the entire Kazakh nation. But it was conceived and implemented by a small circle of Western educated intellectuals. Modernization in the content of the program, elitism in its form, language, and social origins. All artifacts used in this study originate from the National Museum of Kazakhstan, the Alaj archival collection in Orenburg, and verified digitized reproductions. The 1917 draft program is an authenticated primary source, recognized by historians as the foundational political text of the movement. Thus, Alaj appears as an elite-led modernization, initiated by intellectuals but directed towards the future of the entire nation.
A whole country on paper.
And yet most of our people can't read a single line of it. Maybe it really is an elite blueprint.
Maybe, but every nation needs someone to draw the first sketch. Maybe we are few, but the plan is for millions.
Then let this program be our message to the future, a modern state imagined by a small circle, written in the hope that one day the whole nation will make it real.